Rebecca Jane Phillips turned staging homes into a signature interiors career. Rebecca Jane Phillips is an interior designer whose eye for space was sharpened long before she ever called herself one. Her signature style, rooted in personal storytelling and the kind of detail that stops a person mid-stride, grew out of years spent as a top-producing real estate agent in Texas, where staging homes taught her something most designers never learn in school. A room has to make people feel something before it makes them want anything. Phillips built that instinct one listing at a time, room by room, open house by open house, until it became second nature. Expect the unexpected, Phillips says of her design philosophy. I love to surprise everyone with the small to big wows. That instinct has followed her from open houses in North Texas to the interiors she curates today, spaces that mix polish with sentiment, where a child's crayon drawing gets reframed as modern art and a mother's mantle becomes the anchor of a living room. Phillips doesn't design for catalogs. She designs for memory. And she brings to every project a creative range that most designers simply don't have, because most designers didn't spend a decade performing across 3 continents before they ever picked up a floor plan. Her path to interior design was anything but linear. Before the fabric swatches and furniture layouts, there were Broadway tours, USO shows with Bob Hope, 2 Division I athletic scholarships at Baylor University, and a red Alfa Romeo Spider with a license plate that read, "Lovenit." Rebecca Jane Phillips has lived several full lives. The interiors are where all of them converge. How real estate gave Jane Phillips her designer's eye. Jane Phillips built her early career with one of the most successful real estate companies in Texas, representing sellers across a range of properties. The job came with a task that most agents treated as an afterthought. She treated it as a craft. I had the task of decluttering so potential buyers could enjoy the home, she says. Often it required staging and placing everything in a desirable and attractive way to show the beauty of the home and grounds. Often I'd bring flowers and plants to accentuate the home. She sold homes in a gated, guarded community near where the Byron Nelson Golf Tournament is held each year, and the experience of preparing those properties for buyers gave her an education no design school could replicate. She learned to read a room the way a playwright reads a scene, asking what it was missing, what it was hiding, and what it was quietly saying to the person standing in the doorway. One weekend stands out for her. Phillips coordinated an open house with neighboring agents, timed to coincide with the Byron Nelson tournament. The theme was golf. She placed her own clubs and bag at the front door, dressed in her golf attire, and let the detail do the talking. It was deliberate, it was specific, and it worked. She sold her listing that same weekend. It was the kind of move that required both a showman's instinct and a designer's precision, knowing that one specific, well-placed object can shift the entire feeling of a space. The golf bag wasn't just decoration. It was a conversation starter, a mood setter, a story told in a single prop. That lesson has never left her. Touring high-end homes as an agent only deepened the education. She moved through properties designed at the highest level, and she paid close attention. One home had a small driveway engineered so cleverly that the concrete itself turned a car to face the direction you needed to leave. Another featured a nook beneath the staircase built specifically to house a cat's litter box. The opening was cut in the shape of a cat. Hidden, functional, and delightful. I get inspired by so many homes I go into, Phillips says. Those details, small and specific and easy to miss if you weren't looking, became the vocabulary of her design work. She collected them the way other people collect art. The philosophy behind Jane Phillips' interior design. Rebecca Jane Phillips doesn't lean on the word timeless much. She's more interested in joy. Her design philosophy starts with a simple filter. "I believe everything we see should bring us joy," she says. "If it doesn't, donate it." From there, the rooms she creates tend to follow a logic that is equal parts sentimental and surprising. She's drawn to personal objects, the things that carry weight and history, and she integrates them into otherwise polished interiors without apology. Family heirlooms get prominent placement. Her son's childhood artwork gets framed and hung on the wall, reclassified not as keepsake but as modern art. "It brings joy," she says simply. The theatrical background feeds directly into this approach. Phillips spent years performing in Broadway tours, USO shows, and productions across South America, Europe, and Japan, work that required understanding how a space affects an audience and how a single moment of visual surprise can shift the energy of an entire room. She performed at the Kennedy Center for President Reagan. She toured with Bob Hope, flying over the Persian Gulf on a USO show and watching him address fighter pilots mid-flight with gratitude and humor in equal measure. She knows, on a cellular level, what it means to walk into something and feel it. They all go together, she says of her performance career and her design work. "It's all about creativity and turning a blank canvas into something beautiful, happy and peaceful." The wow moments she builds into a space can be small, a chair with a hidden footrest, an unexpected pop of color in an otherwise neutral room, or large enough to anchor an entire layout. The through line is intention. Nothing in a Phillips interior is accidental. And nothing, if she can help it, is boring. Making a turnkey home her own. The home Phillips lives in now arrived with everything included. She didn't know that when she bought it. She had fallen in love with the property during the sale process, convinced it was simply well staged. The rooms felt inviting. The furniture was arranged just right. It had that quality she had spent years trying to create for other people. When she moved in, the furnishings were still there. Top-of-the-line pieces throughout. Vera Wang towels by the pool. Landscaping was already mature, with a wide, open porch that caught the afternoon light beautifully. "I had no idea the furnishings came with the home," she says. "I thought it was just well staged. She could have left it as is." She didn't. Jane Phillips brought in her mother's mantle, salvaged from the home where her mother grew up. She layered in a colorful rug, personal photographs, and a tree that lights up at night. Each addition was deliberate. Each one changed the room from beautiful to personal, from showcase to story. That distinction matters to her more than almost anything else. It's also a window into how she approaches any interior she touches. The bones were there, solid and well appointed. But a home, in her view, always needs that one thing that moves your heart. The whimsy is not decorative. It's structural. Every room needs something that makes you smile or even giggle, she says. The loss of family heirlooms during a move, damaged by a careless moving company, still stings. She doesn't dwell on it publicly. But the experience sharpened her commitment to the pieces she does have, the mantle, the artwork, the objects that carry real meaning, and to making sure they're seen. What comes next for Rebecca Jane Phillips? Phillips continues to refine her home and expand her design work, bringing the same deliberate energy she once brought to real estate open houses. The creative instinct that carried her from a Texas track field to Madison Square Garden to high-end Texas listings has not slowed. It has just found a new room to fill, and she is filling it on her own terms. What she offers, to clients and to herself, is a perspective most designers can't replicate. They haven't performed at the Kennedy Center or staged a golf-themed open house to sell a listing in a single weekend or watched Bob Hope thank fighter pilots from a cockpit over the Persian Gulf at midnight. Those experiences don't show up on a design certification, but they show up in the work. Rebecca Jane Phillips' interior design carries all of it: the theatricality, the sentiment, the instinct for the precise detail that reframes everything around it. It's the golf bag at the front door. It's the cat-shaped cutout beneath the staircase. It's a child's drawing on the wall, matted and hung and newly called modern art, asking anyone who walks past to look again and feel something. That, she would tell you, is exactly the point.